You're a bubblegum cutie pie. How are you doing on this lovely bull market eve? Did you know, friends, news websites are getting crushed by Google's new AI tools? So I think it's very fitting for the whole story of cryptocurrency because AI is life-changing, world-changing technology. The last time we saw a technology that was life-changing like this, it was the internets. That's how you and I are communicating right now. So 1999, we had the big bubble pop. Now we have the internets, right? So this is what's been happening, friends. So Dr. Google McDougal, it's had to put an AI now. When you search stuff, it does an AI. Very convenient. But what it's unintentionally doing is because Google's now reading all these news websites, nobody's clicking on the news websites anymore. Google's just giving you the information. So exponentially, we are seeing all these news websites lose their value and attention span straight away because technology is doing that. Now, I want you to remember, we are witnessing this happen with cryptocurrency right now. Once people start to see the power of owning something scarce on the blockchain and its price going up because the door is so small when everyone tries to go in, as the business cycle goes up, the price goes exponential, they start to open their eyes and they go, oh my gosh, I've been sitting in the hotel cuck chair my whole life. There is a better way. But first, we've got to get them in with the StableCoin SuperCycle. AI is going to blow up and give us a juicy crypto bubble too. Remember, there has never been a life-changing technology that didn't end in a mania. Believe in the bull market. Crypto to 10 trillion, friends. So I'm going to show you some images out here. Thank you to Sommi fan token. Out here, just some images. Oh, who's this lady? You know, do you have a number, lady? So this is another, your friend Sommi, and then you have me riding the bull. Okay, so by the way, AI as well, just showing these cute AI images. Imagine what's going to happen when we have AI friends, AI sex robots. AI is going to tell you stuff that you probably didn't want to know. Too much information. AI will be able to study your own friends. Fascinating things coming. All of it life-changing technology. AI has not reached its full potential. You'll know when you start to see a massive misallocation of capital. In 1999, we saw like pets.com, where companies were trading at 300 PE. So basically, at the current revenue, profits they were making, it was going to take 300 years to make back your money. That's how much future price growth was put into the prices of that. Of the industry. So hopefully AI gets there as well. Remember the story of James Wynn, friends. James Wynn, he opened up a 40x leverage long, was swinging around. I just want to remind you of this just when I posted it out here. At one point, it's up 2 million, 5 million, maybe round trip, the $100 million zone out here. So I just want you to just keep this in the back of your mind, right? Even though the industry is going forward, there are literally 10,000 ways to lose your money. Not your keys, not your crypto. Be careful of having your money on exchanges. You saw recently there was a $48 million hack on the Iran exchange. Many exchanges just drew the runner. You can get liquidated there. They can just hold up your money. There's just so many things that can go wrong. We invented crypto so we don't need them. Okay, so don't make it even more hard for yourself. It's hard enough as it is. 24 months ago, the Bitcoin price was $27,000. Can you believe it, man? It was literally, 27 months ago. Wow. We are making progress, even though, you know, the days feel slow, okay? But the years start to crank on by. You will never fall into a situation where all your friends are in agreement that it's the top. Extreme greed is infectious. So that's what I'm always doing, friends. I am front-running the future. I'm always thinking about that next step, thinking about different parts of the cycle because you never want to be caught up yourself. So you just got to prepare for it, think about it beforehand because once it gets there, if you're not familiar with this scenario, you will like lower the odds that you're going to make the right decision. And the right decision is not knowing what the future holds because nobody knows that. The right decision is where you hit a point and you say, oh, well, you know, I'm going to have to change my odds that, remember, just odds that there's going to be a bear market in the 12-month period following that period, okay? And they're never 100%. But even if you can convince yourself to get off 0%, even if you start thinking about 20% or 30% chance, whatever it is, up to 50% or 60%, then at least you start to think, oh, maybe you don't know the future. Maybe there is a way to hedge yourself in the future, okay? Ethereum, 3,200. We've got to make sure all the soy boys get in sailing on the friend ship. Remember, friends, fundamentals are what you rely on. Ethereum, stablecoin, SuperCycle, real world assets, tokenization, all of these cranking on. That's what helps you stay long because, look, every single asset class does go through a period where nothing seems to work. Everything does. Friends, you know Ray Dalio, Uncle Ray, he even did a study. He said, he goes, it is extremely dangerous for you to just hold one asset class for your whole life. Just one. Extremely dangerous. He says there is almost a guarantee that one asset class in your lifetime will exhibit an 80% drawdown or a like significantly long time where you just don't make any money or gains. You know, we're talking about commodities, gold, or US stocks, or bonds, property, whatever it is. Okay, at some point, you know, in any 50-year period, there will be one asset which just gets cucked beyond imagination, and we don't know what it's going to be. Like, you don't know, friends. For example, like, what if property just like doesn't move anywhere from the year 2030 to the year 2040? Maybe because we have a large number of baby boomers in America and other first world nations who are offloading their homes to their children, and their children are just selling off the excess investments because they're all putting it into crypto to go digital. I'm just giving you an example, right? So that's why it's important to think about all of these things. Luckily for us, we're in cryptocurrency, and we already know, yeah, man, it can drop 99%. Stablecoin, SuperCycle. Here I am riding a bull on top of this train, giving Richard Hart a high five. Out here, stablecoin, SuperCycle, it is the key for the whole bull market. Why? Because normies want $1 to be $1. They don't like price fluctuations. You got to get them in. It's like having a US savings bank account. And from there, they can start to compare portfolios, and we will start to crank after that. Remember, friends, most of the industry is leveraged long on Bitcoin and Solana. Everybody's still fading Ethereum. We had the terrible business PMI. But yeah, don't forget, friends, still riding the bull, still riding the bull, climbing the wall of worry. Is it over? Is it over? Is it not over? These clouds are happy. These clouds are winky faced. I know it's been tough, man. It's been tough. What are you going to do? Sell? Go click sell. I'm not stopping you. Like, we don't need your money, man. It's going to go up with or without you. They're going to print money anyway. Okay. They're going to keep printing. Global liquidity is going to keep rising. Print. Currency units have to go. People will eventually get positive. They will eventually get optimistic out here. Something to think about. If all it took was hard work, then the donkey would own the farm. You have to believe. Yeah? You have to believe. That's it. How cute's this photo? Look at this happy, happy donkey. Think about that saying, man. If, like, yeah, it's such a great saying. Right? If the hardest worker got all the rewards, every donkey would own the farm. The donkey doesn't own the farm. The farmer owns the farm. Okay? Howdy, partner. So, what is that? How can you apply that to crypto? You're already doing that right now. What's the hardest work? Okay, the hardest worker. Oh, the hardest worker might be like, you know, trying to compute thousands of coins and every fundamental and all of these. There is a base level of risk. No matter what you do, you cannot remove. For example, flipping a coin. Yeah. No matter what you do, you can research the coin. You can sniff the coin. You can check if the coin's rigged. It doesn't matter. You flip the coin in the air, there's nothing you can do, man. It's still 50-50. You can't change the odds, okay? You just have to accept it. That's why in crypto, you look for asymmetric upsides. If everything can go to zero, then you have to look for the stuff with the most upside. Now, we don't know what the most, no one knows what the most upside is, but it's a mindset. It's a think, right? It's just like, friends, if you're training somebody to be a good football player, right? You might want to train a kid, right? When you're dribbling the ball, look up, you know, and see where the gap is. You know, is the player closer to your left or to your right? If the player is closer to your right, yeah, maybe from your perspective, like maybe shift over to the left. And if they're on the left, maybe shift over to the right with the ball. Just give you an idea, right? But you don't know before the game. You can't tell, let's say you're coaching a kid, 10-year-old kid. You can't tell them, you know, a player's going to come on your right and then your left and your left, then your right. You don't know. You got to train them to be doing it live. That's what we're doing, friends. We are training to do it live. That's what we're like. You can't remove that risk that just goes to zero. You can't remove. All you can do is gain information advantages over the rest of the market. For example, PulseChain, pDAI, meme cult religion, yes. Multiple conferences, yes. Survived going to zero twice for pDAI. Survived going to zero once for Hex. found to try to kill it in both of them, by the way. Do you see what I mean? So this increases the odds that the thing's still alive. Doesn't give you guarantees, it just increases the odds because you're aware of it. Most of the market isn't. You can use this for everything out here, like Ethereum as well. Most people say Ethereum's dead, but we're like, no, real world assets, tokenization, Ethereum spot ETF, starting to get the point. Greta Thunberg is 22, looking like she just turned 48. What's her secret? She sacrificed for PulseChain. So it's been a long time, man. It's been 4 years now. 4 years since sacrifice. I bet everybody in crypto is scarred for life. Yeah, man. You can be down forever. You can literally be down for so long. Now we know, yeah, you can be down for 5 years and it still doesn't have any chance of coming back. How does that impact investing decisions? We'll see. We'll see. Denial. My investments are with great companies. They will come back. This is Bart Simpson out here, if you remember, at the camp. So that's it, friends. Sometimes you got to think about this, right? Are we just totally in denial? Are we? It could be, man. It could be. Could be. But you know, by the way, if you check out all the greatest investors with their biggest wins, they say there always is a point where you question everything, and you're like, you know what? It's probably just not going to work out. You know. But usually, most of the time, it just requires more patience. So, adding on to that, friends, remember, JP Morgan is going to release one of their dog shit dollars. China's releasing their own stablecoin, the ECNY. Stablecoins everywhere. We recently saw the passing of the evil genius stablecoin bill. So there's this dude here, right? And this is when I reported it back then. There's bipartisan agreement. They pretty much went through already. We already know this. So, stablecoin SuperCycle. Now, the stablecoin SuperCycle, yeah, evil genius stablecoin bill increases network effect for stablecoins, but they're trying to kill it in crypto. You can't hand out yield, got to go through regulated banks, blacklist function, etc. But that's pretty good. They created now a black market effect in a stablecoin, which might not be a stablecoin, but does the same thing without being called a stablecoin. You know. So that's the advantage out here, friends, and it's a big advantage for PulseChain. No one's looking at this stuff. No one. It's like it's perfectly lined up. That's just so amazing, man. That it's right here, you know. But you still don't want to get ahead of yourself because it's not like the thing's paid off or anything. But you know, it still requires belief, right? Believe in something. Believe in something. Believe in something. Let's actually crank it a bit. It still comes down to believing. Like I said, belief, if you want to quantify it, it means like no matter what you do, there are question marks. No matter how long you think about it, you can't answer them. You don't answer them. You don't know the path. You don't know how long it'll take. You don't know how the liquidity is going to come in. There's question marks you just literally never know the answers to. By the way, that was early Bitcoin. No one knew that it was going to get an ETF. Yeah, when it was like $8. No one knew that there was no bug in the code. No one knew that it was going to get forked. So even 2013, right? No one knew that Bitcoin was going to get forked into Bitcoin Cash and have a Bitcoin fork war. Nobody knew that. That's how dangerous it was back then. I mean, like, see, friends, now you know if Bitcoin gets forked, no one cares about the fork. They stay on the network, right? But you didn't know that back then. You didn't know that. Back when Bitcoin was cheaper, when Bitcoin was $30, you did not know what would happen if, like, you know, a Roger Ver type of vulture siphoning conjoined twin attack, what would happen, right? Friends, in another parallel universe, there could be a world where the value literally splits. It's just in our universe, the network value stayed 99% BTC, 1% BCH, Bitcoin Cash, right? In another parallel universe, what if the split was like 70-30? You know, and then your value just gets chopped away. Okay. In another universe, maybe Bitcoin Cash won. See all these unknowns? Very tough to deal with, right? But now you're not nervous about that. Yeah, that's why you're not buying it at $30. Not $300, right? Over 100,000. You're literally buying it like 3,000x higher. Yeah. Let's just check the maths on that. From 100,000 from $30, yeah, it's 3,300x higher. You see what I mean? So you remove the question mark, but you also remove the upside. Does that mean more question marks, more upside? Yes. On average, yes. That's why if you focus, if you lock in If you peg your own nipples, you tweak your own nipples from time to time, you sharpen your elbows. If you can do research and you get an inkling that there's information to be had here that the market is not seeing, big upside for you, huge. That's why, friends, here's the thing, okay? When something is like really low in price, you don't even need the market to be really wrong about everything. You don't really need it, okay? You just need it to be alive. That's it. Yeah. I mean, for example, like pDAI is the best thing. You know the payout's $1, right? If it works. If you're buying it at like half a cent, yeah, it went lower than that. It went to 0.1 cents, even lower, okay? If you're buying it at 0.1 cents, that's 1,000x to $1, yeah? You don't need it to get to $1 because at 0.1 cents, everyone's saying it's dead. And you're like, if you can see a heartbeat, you go, oh, wait, it's actually alive. So, like, you don't even need it to go to $1. If it goes to 10 cents, you've got, like, your 40 to your 100x from that point, around that point you're buying. You don't need the full 1,000x, or even lower, even if you get out 5 cents or 3 cents, just back to your all-time high. You see that? But it's harder, isn't it? Because there's always a good reason why the thing is down 99% or 97 or 90%. It's always a really good reason. That's why when you see something really low, you're like, oh man, is there any chance this thing is alive? That's what we've been able to do. When there's a community who out here who's saying everyone's wrong, and they're loud and they're passionate, they are doing the world an abundance mindset service for free. Highest value content in crypto. It's literally, friends, I have literally, unequivocally, I don't give a shit if the thing goes to 0. I don't care. What I've done was a favor. I wish every time something dropped hard, I had a your friend Sommi who's wearing a Make Memes Great Again person who could actually make me like a freaking 30-minute video about why something might still be alive and the market is wrong. Okay, I wish that literally does all the hard work for me. Wouldn't that be amazing? We'd all be trillionaires, literally trillionaires. I'm not even joking. Imagine every single time something went down, someone made a big case why something's going to come back. Oh, Mantra, DAO, OM. What about Rune, 4chain? What about pDAI? What about Hex? I can actually name this off the top of my head. That's because we try to look for this stuff out here. But imagine we had like one person to watch, like me, who was also doing it since like for the past 5 years. Wouldn't that be amazing? Yeah, but we don't get that. And it's really hard, isn't it? Because you literally, you need balls of steel. It's tough, isn't it? And here's the sad reality about it. The biggest opportunity comes with you not even watching the video. Because you're like, nah, there's no way that's going to work. Yeah. Just like pDAI, man. I mean, like you literally had the founder of the chain come out and call it a scam 33 times in 1 month. You know what I mean? So that's just the harsh nature of markets. There's always a good reason why it's down. It's always a really good reason. But you only need one home run, man. Because it's not like you're buying a Johnson & Johnson stock. You know, maybe its real value's $10 and you get to buy it at like, $5. Because that's what happens. Oh, you're 50% undervalued. It's not that, man. Oh, you're literally a minus 2x undervalued. Some of these coins, friends, they go minus 20x undervalued, minus 100x undervalued. Oh my gosh. Rare, but it happens, man. We've seen it. Job's not done yet. So remember, none of this is financial advice. I've been teaching you the mindset, abundance mindset, lottery ticket stuff. You don't have all the big hedge funds and institutions and red ocean cucks who are taking a piece of the pie. Because if they were, you would never get prices that low. The things will be priced in much earlier. That's why being in a blue ocean area gives you more advantages than you think. I'm your friend. Like, subscribe, press the belly button, and then press all. Call your mom and dad. Tell them that you love them. Catch you soon.